Here, a short overview.
We are located in the southeastern Europe, in the Western Balkans, and we are called North Macedonia. Try to find us.
I think there is barely any country with so much potential still in Europe, so much undiscovered potential. It's a beautiful country to visit. It's a very nice place to live in with nice people, very good food, as you can see from my belly after a year.
We are talking about very, very helpful people, very hospitable people, and just feel free to walk anywhere in the country, in any kind of territory, and feel free to ask for any kind of help.
The main thing which makes everyone happy, and it seems like that it's your favorite topic of both of you, is food. So restaurants are...
We
How did
started
you-
with sports.
how
We
did you-
started with
no.
sports, but we got
Marco,
down
how
the
did you
downwards
notice
track.
that? How did you notice that?
We really tried to talk about our sporty hobbies, but it didn't work out.
Welcome, listeners, to the podcast Global Communicator. Don't believe tourists, we ask the locals.
Global Communicator, the podcast.
Hello guys!
Hello,
I'm
Marco.
Hello, Marco.
Always nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see
you
you,
as well.
Alexander. Well, people, thanks that you hosted me today here at your home, right?
Of course. Glad to have you here.
Welcome to our new episode of Global Communicator, today about North Macedonia. We are sitting here with Alexander, born and raised here in Skopje, where we are sitting at the moment, and with Matthias, which is working for the Austrian Embassy here in North Macedonia. And by the way, is
Exactly.
also one of my best friends. So, well,
Very good. The best friend.
the best friend, exactly, to underline
Of
that.
course.
No, anyway, guys, you got that we are having a nice time here in Skopje, and you will definitely find out after these 45 minutes or more or less why this is the case, because North Macedonia is an amazing country. And please, Alexander, can you give our listeners a short overview why you are here today, what's your background, and why you are so well qualified for Global Communicator?
Well, thank you for inviting me. Dear listeners and viewers, I'm glad to be part of the Global Communicator. I am Alexander Bogojevski. I have been working, studying, and educating tourism for more than 25 years. I have graduated from the Faculty for Tourism and Hospitality in Ohrid, and actually I have started to work in the tourism industry even without knowing that I'm doing that, due to the beautiful family house we have by the lake of Ohrid.
Interesting. So Ohrid is already a hint which we're gonna speak definitely in this podcast. First time in my podcast, actually. So far we had always just the local bias, but this time we also have the international view. Well, Matthias, how is it to live as an international guy here in North Macedonia?
I have to say it's been 1 year now that I live here in Skopje, live and work here in Skopje. And I'm having a very good life. I very easily found friends from this country, which is amazing, just like Alexander, working in tourism here, being engaged in making this country even better. And I think there is barely any country with so much potential still in Europe, so much undiscovered potential. It's a beautiful country to visit. It's a very nice place to live in with nice people, very good food, as you can see from my belly after a year. And so I couldn't be more happy, actually, and I'm really honest with this.
I would like to add up to what Matthias said regarding the development. I would like to thank Matthias. That's actually how we met. It was one of the meetings where the Austrian Embassy recognized the potential about the tourism development in North Macedonia. So they actually decided to support the development of the adventure tourism in Shara Mountain by making the winter and summer land and terrain markations on the trail from Popova Shapka to Tito Vrh winter trail, and from Tito Vrh to Popova Shapka summer trail. So that's one of the very attractive tourism products at the moment, and I should welcome all of the listeners, if they want to practice activication, to take this trail.
We keep that in our mind and we'll mention afterwards, I would say 5 spots for our listeners when they go to North Macedonia, which they have to visit. But when you go to North Macedonia, you also need to have some cultural background, some history background. Can you explain to our listeners what's the background of the country?
Well, yes, Macedonia used to be part of the Yugoslavian Federation, and in 1991 we had a referendum and Macedonia declared its independency, and since then we are an independent young country, and we are still struggling to establish the system as an independent country.
Can you tell our listeners why is there a north in front of Macedonia?
Of course, that's a perfect question for a diplomat. So, as you might know, there was a long struggle between Greece after the independence that Alexander mentioned, because the country was named Republic of Macedonia, and there is also parts of the ancient or the geographical region of Macedonia in the north of Greece and a little bit in Bulgaria. A very complex question. We will not cover this because 40 minutes is not enough. But to make it short, there was a deal made with Greece in 2018, 2019. The name change happened, and now the country is officially called North Macedonia. So for me, in an official position, it's very important to mention the correct name. Whereas when you go around here in the country, you will find many people who still say only Macedonia, which in a colloquial, when we talk to each other in colloquial language, is okay. But for official, mentioning ministries, football national team, or anything related to the country, the official name is North Macedonia.
Yes.
Well, I think we covered that enough, and it's actually a bit complicated, to be honest, but
Matthias said it the diplomatic way, so
yeah,
it's
true.
absolutely okay.
I saved you from that.
well, that's a good thing that we are
I don't end up with problems on the street.
Yes.
You know?
no fights afterwards. But let's go to the positive things. Well, since I'm here, I just find very, very nice people on the street. Everyone helps me. Everyone speaks very good English, which I'm surprised. Or if they don't speak very good English, at least they try to have a conversation with hand and body language.
Like I try. No.
No, but
Well, yes, indeed. It's the people in the country, no matter of which ethnicum or which religion, are very friendly. They are very welcoming. So anywhere in the country, no matter in what kind of region, in which region you are, they will welcome you. They will try to help you. Any kind of problem
Serve
that you
food,
have.
as I mentioned.
Yes, they will feed you. They will give you shelter if you need. So we are talking about very, very helpful people, very, how would I say, hospitable people. And just feel free to walk anywhere in the country, in any kind of territory, and feel free to ask for any kind of help.
so it will be as a traveler or European or any international guy, because we have a lot of listeners from India also, or from Pakistan too, so they can also come without any troubles to North Macedonia, right?
Absolutely.
But let the people know, where is it actually located? We already heard from history from Matthias that your neighbor is
Well,
Greece.
it's quite complicated, but we are located in the southeastern Europe, in the Western Balkans, and we are called North Macedonia. So yes, that's where we are. Try to find us.
Well, happy that we have nowadays Google and internet. But guys, now, well, there's the most important things. Well, if you're here, which part of North Macedonia people have to see?
I would say that depends in which time of the year you come to Macedonia. On the first place, since I work for developing of sustainable tourism, I would put an accent on the mountaineering tourism, which is generally happening from beginning of the spring till the late autumn. So if you want to do some mountaineering, there are plenty of mountains in Macedonia, and national parks. There are 4 national parks: Shara Mountain, Pelister, Galičica, and Mavrovo. So basically the trails are generally marked and safe to walk, and people in the local villages are very friendly and communicative and willing to help you.
So to sum it up, mountaineering.
Yes, number one for me.
Number one. Number one is mountaineering, even winter or summer. So you have
Well, in winter you can also do some freeride skiing. That's precisely in Shara Mountain, where there is plenty of tour operators for snowcat rides and turno skiing. So just open the internet and pick which one you're gonna use the services from.
But you also have ski areas here, right?
Absolutely, there are several ski centers, of which three are generally very active, which is Shara Mountain Ski Center. Then there is Mavrovo, and then I think there is in
Kruševo, there is a small
Kruševo,
one.
yes.
Yeah.
These are the most active one, but there are new ones that one opened in Ponikva. It's a little bit smaller ones, but good for beginning.
That's also what I want to say. More like for free ride and ski touring and cat
best.
touring, right?
Yes.
That's the best.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but you already mentioned the Shara Mountains. So there is also a very famous trek. In my research, I found out there is a trek through the Shara Mountains and Kosovo.
Yes, there is a trail. It's called High Skardus Trail, which is actually awarded the best adventure tourism product in 2023. It's on a European level, and believe it or not, the trail goes on the Shara Mountain ridge and starts from North Macedonia, enters Kosovo, then again enters North Macedonia. There's several entrances and exits on the mountain ridge, and you need to get a special permit by the two countries, so you can trespass during this, let's so call them rural passages, border passages.
So no border controls. You just need to have a license before that you can cross all the
Exactly. It's actually the provider of the seller of the tour is going to provide all this necessary documentation, so you can freely walk the tour.
Okay, so listeners, as you already hear, there are still borders, so that means North Macedonia is not part of the European Union. So be aware if you travel to North Macedonia that you have borders all around. Well, thanks for that. That's mountaineering number one on your list. What about you?
Okay, since mountains cover 80% of this country, that's very unfair of you, because I need to choose from the rest of the 20%. But okay, I will totally also subscribe to the mountain part for many different sports. Also paragliding is something that I always have to add as a passionate paraglider, and there are amazing spots that in this community, in this niche, are known around the world. When you say Kruševo, Ohrid, this is something a paraglider even from Brazil or Nepal would know. So that's one part, but speaking of paragliding, I mean, we are here in Skopje, and can you believe it? You can even fly from the mountain right here in town. Someone just recently experienced a very good tandem flight with an excellent pilot. Right from the top of the
Called
town.
Matthias.
Yeah, coincidence. You know. There is many of those here. And not so many Alexanders, just kidding. And yes, and I mean, that's the beauty. You have mountain right in the capital of Skopje. And then at the same
What's
time,
the name of the mountain?
it's Vodno, comes
Vodno
from voda, water, so it's the water mountain just behind us. And there are even parties on top sometimes, so you have all these elements of nature, party, you can go, a lot of cultural things to visit in the city. I mean, that's, Alexander is much more an expert, but already what I like, let's stay with Skopje. What I like here is also the diversity. You go from a city center that has very different architecture to more rural
Yes, we will
parts.
cover that later. Let's stay with activities now, because otherwise we don't have the red line through the podcast.
Okay.
So we definitely will speak about Skopje later. But thanks for the additional things. So you your point is paragliding here in Skopje.
Yes.
Paragliding
I
in,
cannot
in
avoid
North
it.
Macedonia,
North
in
Macedonia,
general.
sorry,
in
yes,
general.
Absolutely.
exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What else? What do you want to add to the list? What people
Well, I
should
would
do
like to
here?
add to the list, if you're coming during the summer or maybe like even in the spring and autumn, you should definitely take a look at Ohrid Lake and Prespa Lake,
Yes.
which are two natural lakes surrounded by two national parks, which is Pelister National Park and Galičica National Park. More commercialized is Ohrid Lake, where there are plenty of monastery churches and there are some mosques as well in the region, and there are some. But if you want something more remote, then you go to the Prespa Lake, which is a developing region of North Macedonia. Actually, it's a region where Macedonia and North Macedonia and Greece signed the agreement for the new name. Yes, and it's a very attractive region, especially if you like to enjoy the nature without lot of experiencing a lot of mass tourism, that I call. So it's a beautiful lake, Prespa Lake. There is a huge potential for kite surfing. There are two spots for kite surfing. One is at Stenya Beach. The other one is
So
at
North Macedonia is a hotspot for extreme sport, it seems like. Well, if you call
Adventure
paragliding
sports.
adventure
Adventure
sports.
sports.
I would say yes.
Better summarize, yeah.
Well, you can get at this point with the technical achievements of the equipment, you can get at least 60 days in the year for kite surfing or wind foiling. But as the technology is improving for the equipment, I believe in the future you can get up to maybe 100 days of practicing these sports. So it's gonna be a hotspot for sure.
So mountains, lakes, so nature is a big topic here in North Macedonia. And I have to mention that it's untouched nature, so it's very beautiful. Still many things are not discovered yet. And that's what I really like. And it's, as you mentioned, not really over tourism. It's, well, listeners, really, if you're gonna go to North Macedonia, you're gonna find places where you're the only one there, even on the mountains. Maybe not on the highest mountain, which is
Korab?
Korab. It's
Yes.
also the highest mountain of Albania. So,
Yes.
listeners, if you want to be on the highest mountain of one country, try Korab, because it's easy to reach and, well, easy to find, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So the
It's-
trails are very good.
The trails are well marked, and now with the help and the recognition of the Austrian Embassy, they support a project of marking another high peak in North Macedonia, which is on Shara Mountain, and it's the Titovrf trail, and it's from Popova Shapka to Titovrf, the winter trail, and from Titovrf to Popova Shapka, the summer trail.
Is there anything else which you have to see or to try when you're in North Macedonia?
Well, if you have covered Skopje and Ohrid and the mountain areas, I think that's the main spot. But then there are so many small secret spots that, thanks to Alexander, I got to know. There is a region for vineyards, for example.
Wow, our listeners definitely know that you watch our podcast, that there is always a secret spot. So, well, please mention both of you one different secret spot which people
Matthias, go
have
ahead.
to
You do it first.
see.
The Roman spa near Katlanovo, that was a real surprise to me. A hot spring in the mountain, carved in the rock, where you can go inside. There is an official thermal spa around it, but you just hike around 15 minutes through the woods, and you get to a cave with hot water inside. Up to 7 people can go in there, can relax, and on a cold, rainy day, you can even do an outdoor adventure. That was something that really surprised me. Barely anyone knows. So, yes.
Maybe afterwards.
Maybe in the future I will meet some Austrians, Indians, and other listeners from your podcast.
Yeah, probably. But what about the smell?
It was not as bad as I expected, because having been to other sulfur, you have some sulfur smell. It's normal, but compared to other natural thermal baths, it was not. It was pleasant, actually. It was very much okay. Yeah.
What about you, Alexander?
Thanks for mentioning that. It's also one of my favorite. But on the first place, I would put the deserted beaches in the Ohrid Lake, which are in the national park Galičica. Basically, these are around 25, 30 beaches, small, and they're surrounded with huge 10, 15 meter cliffs and small beaches that you can only reach by boat. And it's very nice to go to these places during the summer. You can go by a boat to these beaches and have a whole day there. Let's just bring some sandwiches, bring some snorkels, some fishing poles, or just sit there and sunbathe. It's a beautiful place to be. It's a perfect, you're gonna feel like a Robinson Crusoe, I would say.
But Alexander, stop that, because that sounds like a sea, but North Macedonia doesn't have a sea.
Well, we don't have a sea, but the Ohrid Lake, the coast is literally like a sea.
Is it so huge?
It's huge and it's very beautiful, and it's a pure clear water that you can see the bottom at 15, 16 meters depth. You can see the bottom of the lake. That's how clean the water is. And
it's the oldest lake in Europe.
It is one of the oldest lakes in Europe, probably the oldest, yes. And there is a saying that you can literally drink at some places, you can drink straight from the water, from the lake.
Wow, so
yes,
definitely a secret place.
Yes.
So, well, discovered the beaches of Ohrid Lake by boat.
Definitely a thing that you have to see if you go to Ohrid during the, let's say, mid-spring all the way to the, let's say, end of the summer, or let's say the beginning of the autumn.
Wow, thanks guys for these secret spots. It sounds really amazing. And well, I have to add the Matka Canyons and the caves there. I discovered that was also very interesting. And well, you showed me a cave which is not really possible to enter, right?
Yes, during your stay here, we had a visit in Matka Canyon, and there is one very commercialized cave. It's called Vrelo, and most of the visitors are visiting Cave Vrelo. But you can ask the local boat operators to give you the keys, and you can visit the cave Ubava, which is Ubava is Ubava. That's the name of the cave, but it translates to beautiful one. And just don't forget to ask for the keys from the local boat operators. And the hike from Vrelo to Ubava should be around 25 to 30 minutes. And make sure you bring your headlight, because once you enter into Ubava, it's dark, but there is infrastructure to walk around the cave and to see all these beautiful stalagmites and stalactites and to enjoy the
It's
cave.
amazing, but I have to add, it's not easy to get there, because the trail is not very good marked and not so stable anymore. But listeners, if you really make it there, please share that and show the pictures. Then you have my biggest respect, because the trail is not that good and it's a challenge to get the key. But,
Yes.
well, I'm curious if someone really makes this challenge. Well, let us know and we will.
Or go with the tour guide Alexander.
Exactly.
Yes,
And it will be
Yeah.
fun.
you can contact me and we can go together, and I can provide you the tour. The trail actually, it used to be in a very, very good shape. Unfortunately, it wasn't taken care of, and it was ruined from the rainfalls, and the terrain is pretty steep, so the trail needs maintenance, let's say, every 2 years.
Let's sum it up as a challenge.
Exactly, it is
So-
a challenge, but it works.
Exactly. But let's get back to the topic which you already started, Skopje. Well, give an overview about Skopje.
Well, I live here for 1 year now, so it's a very interesting city. It's small for a capital, I would say, so which makes it easy to get around and to discover most of the main touristic places within 1 day, I would say, which is the main square with the big statue of Alexander, and the old town, in the old bazaar. So you have beautiful markets there to buy fruits from, as you know very well, Marco. And
nuts.
yes, and nuts and everything. You have the river going through. So it has a lot of different elements, architectural styles, as I said. And yes, and then you have the mountains around it. So from whether you have one day just to see the main things, or you have more time to really enjoy it, to go to the top of Vodno, to drive around a little bit. And there is a Roman aqueduct just standing still in Skopje, just a 10 minutes drive from the center that barely anyone knows. So even within the city, you have a lot of secret spots. Yeah.
Yes,
Something
and not to forget, a very attractive location in the city of Skopje is the Old Bazaar, which is one of the biggest bazaars in the Ottoman Empire in the Balkans, and it's still a lot of the architecture from that time preserved. So there is a lot of hammams, there is a lot of mosques, churches, so you can come and visit. And the most important is the traditional food that is being offered into the bazaar. And I would mention, try some of the local specialties here and the traditional specialties. That is cevapcici, which is barbecued meat, and try the shopska salad, which is a local salad, but the Macedonian local salad is
even
unique
better.
because it's made of I would put a big accent on the tomato, because it's a special type of tomato, and it just simply tastes better than the rest of the tomatoes, I could say.
We will cover the topic food for sure, and you also have to think about your favorite meal. But you also mentioned architecture, and we are sitting here and we have these towers behind us. I'm not sure if we're still able to see because it's getting dark really fast. The name of the architecture style is brutalism.
It's a brutalism. Yeah. It's a worldwide style, and many people are visiting Skopje and ex-Yugoslavia just to see this type of architecture. And in Skopje, it's very visible because in 1963 there was a huge earthquake that destroyed a big part of the city, and all the countries were solidarizing with Skopje, and the urbanistic plan was made by the international team led by Kenzo Tange, which is a famous Japanese architect who led the new urbanistic plan of the city. And at that time the brutalism style was kind of at its peak, and that's why many of the new buildings at that time after the earthquake were in the brutalist style. So I'm not an architect, but I think it's a unique architecture, and it was the peak of the architecture at that time. Wow. So we're talking about, let's say, late 60s and early 70s. So yes, this is the student dormitory, and it's built in the brutalist style.
Well, that's very important, but the main thing which makes everyone happy, and it seems like that it's your favorite topic of both of you, is food. So restaurants are...
We started with sports. We started with sports, but we got down the downward track.
How did you notice that?
We really tried to talk about our sporty hobbies, but it didn't work out.
Oh, guys, that was because of your answers, not of bellies or something. No worries.
Of course.
No, you both look perfect, but let our listeners know, if they're here, they really have to try the restaurants, because I love it already. I love to eat fish here. I love to eat traditional meals, and wine, amazing here. I didn't know that North Macedonia has such a good wine, or rakia at the end. So, well, that's my opinion after a few days, but guys, one by one, let our listeners know what they have to try.
Matthias, go ahead.
Let's go in the chronological order with the salads.
Okay.
For me, that was the biggest surprise. The best selection of salads I have ever seen. Whether it's shopska, makedonska, vitaminska, mixed salad, everything is good.
Okay. Well, then I will go with the let's say cold and hot appetizers, which is ivar. Oh. It's a traditional Macedonian, and pinjur. And then we have very nice feta cheese, which is produced in the region of Galichnik, which is very famous. And also we have a good cheese coming from there, sheep cheese. And I would say...
Can I add something?
Sure.
Perfect. The bread with kaimak inside. If you combine that with the ivar and pinchur, oh my God.
Yes, and if you
That's-
combine all of that with a little of brandy, which is called rakia, and what is typical for Macedonia, for North Macedonia, is that we make the brandy from grapes, unlike the rest of the region where they make the brandy from plums. So we have yellow, žolta, lozova rakia, and we have a white brandy made from grapes. So that's the typical brandy to try with your salad.
Oh, you tried it with the salad, not the end.
Yes.
So I made it in the wrong way.
Before, in between, and afterwards.
Okay.
You usually
Which
have
I
the
had to
salad with
find out the
brandy.
hard way.
That's why after 10 everyone is singing in the restaurant with the local music bands and everything.
Yes.
Which is also experience here. If you go to the restaurants here
Yeah.
in
To kafanas, the
kafanas,
the
exactly.
traditional
Yes.
ones.
thanks to that, to the traditional ones, they're the local bands singing and playing, and well, after time everyone is singing with them probably because of the rakias. But
Yes.
yeah, anyway, I'm always impressed how many songs everyone knows, because everyone knows the traditional songs, and it's such a cool experience to make that. Is there anything else to add at the food, because it's already a long list?
There is so much, but like in all countries in the region, the meat is also very good. But I was surprised here that it's not only meat, you have so many vegetarian options as well. That's something I didn't really expect, and I was very positively surprised. So whether it's then grilled mushroom, vegetables, or tavče gravče, which
Zucchini.
is zucchini, tavče gravče, which is a local bean stew. That's something
Yes.
very Macedonian, not just Balkans, but very
Yes.
Macedonian. Very good, very good. Yeah.
Love to hear that. Well, guys, do you want to add something to the restaurants?
Well, yeah, you should also try the traditional desserts as well, which is baklava and maybe some kadayif as well.
But baklava you can find everywhere in the Balkans.
Oh, well, yes, but I think here is a little bit more, how would I say, if you try it in the old bazaar, they make it at the traditional way. And kadayif is quite unique for the region.
Okay,
Yes. So you should try baklava and kadayif.
so choose a favorite meal.
I would definitely agree with Matthias. For me, it's tavče gravče with some sausage, domestic sausage.
Okay, and next shot, favorite restaurant.
Well, I would say Skopski merak and I would say Spice.
Spice.
Yes,
Skopje merak and spice.
yes.
So listeners, if you're here in Skopje, try these two restaurants. Do you want to add one?
Maybe Dukat is also very good. Yeah, there is a lot of them. Yeah,
Yes.
you cannot make a bad decision when you go out eating in Skopje.
There's another very, very positive thing for a Central European, or I would say for many, many countries, the price level here.
Well, I would say it's still very affordable, and for let's say 30-35 euros, you can have a nice dinner. I talk per person, including the wine, the salad. Let's say 4-course dinner with wine for 30-35 euros. It's I think it's quite affordable anywhere.
And I would say that's even more on the upper end, because if you just want to have a normal local experience and you want to have a simple meal at the market or in the old town, in the bazaar,
Yes.
you can have salads, some meat, and yeah, some ivar for
15 euros.
even less, yes.
Well,
So
very nice price level, but also I have to add also the price level for accommodation and also how to get to Skopje and also Ohrid. Also Ohrid has an airport, is quite cheap because also Wizz Air is flying here, and
Yes,
so
there
the
is.
connection is very good.
There used to be during the season there is 26 destinations that fly to Skopje with Wizz Air, and there are a few with EasyJet and Fly Dubai, I think. So these are the low-cost carriers that are very important. So for 60, 70 euros, you can buy a round ticket from these 30 major cities in Europe. So basically...
Or you have to take a layover in Vienna and go with Austrian Airlines. Then, then you're connected to the world.
Yeah,
We see that you work for the Austrian Embassy. Well,
there used to be a direct flight with Wizz Air from Salzburg.
everyone should try that by his own and should find out. But to sum it up, the connection is very good by plane. But which I don't like that much. So that to point also something negative, there are no trains.
Unfortunately, there are no trains, but we are currently, as a country, working on that problem, and it's not an easy one to solve. During that Yugoslavia time, there used to be a railway, but now we are renewing the railways and the whole railway system in the country.
Then to face the second thing, which people probably see after a few days in North Macedonia, there are many construction not finished.
Well, yes, one of them is the mega structure, the telecommunication tower in the mountain peak of Vodno.
One of the first things when you enter Skopje, what you see?
It's actually, you're going to see two things, the millennial cross on the mountain of Vodno, the peak, and you're going to see the telecommunication tower, which is still under construction.
North Macedonia, we already mentioned the name struggles and also ethnical differences. Well, how is the security here, safety? If you think about Balkan,
well, okay, let's say it from a local perspective first. It's, I think, what happened in 2001, it's far behind us, and people are no longer having any problems. I mean, there are, of course, groups that are trying to push these ethnical balloons on a ethnical level, but people are not buying that anymore. So the general of the population is not interested in any kind of ethnical conflicts. They want peace, they want progress. So in general, people are for peace, and anywhere you go, you will be welcomed, no matter which religion or ethnicum you're coming from. So if you're correct, if you're not trying to, let's say, like be pushing some topics that are really not the why would you talk politics and ethnicum with someone? You talk about the natural beauty, you talk about the
don't
cultural
face political things and things like that, then you're safe here for 100%.
Absolutely.
As a tourist perspective, can I add something?
Yes, even as an international living here, I never faced any problem. I mean, there is the general rule, watch out for pickpocketing when you go through the old town or the bazaar. Maybe that's something that might happen to you, but it really feels so safe in the country. It feels very safe. And as Alexander said, whereas in other countries, when locals see a tourist, they might see a dollar sign or an opportunity to make money out of it. Here, you don't even need to negotiate on the markets. You will get a fair price for fair, good quality, and that's something I really appreciate here. Yeah.
True, I can confirm that 100%. But guys, if you're here, take care with taxis, cabs. Maybe they charge you the wrong price, so take a research before. If you're going from the airport to Skopje, don't pay more than 20-25 euros. That's a fair price, for example. And otherwise, people are very fair at the market everywhere, as you mentioned on the right place. But let's face it, there was a big disaster this year in North Macedonia. There was a fire, many people died in a discotheque.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, unfortunately, it happened. It was, I would say, the system failed on several levels, and the tragedy happened. And my condolences to the families that lost their close ones. And hopefully it never happens again. And I believe the country will learn a lot from this tragedy, and the system will be more I would say
transparent,
transparent and more teaching. By also sometimes you need to use the sanctions. They're here just to teach the people why the right way is the right way, because if one of these several steps that the system failed to establish for this club, if one of them was successful, this would have never happened. Okay.
Let's hope it will be a one time in the lifetime and then
Yes.
never again. Super. And well, if you are ready at security and safety, well, we spoke about nature, and nature is really amazing here, and nature life is also still alive. Like I experienced when my first time here to visit the bear. You just visited the bear like 1 month ago, you told me.
Less than a month ago, yes, when we were in the hiking the tour at Korab's waterfalls, which is a beautiful tour, well-marked trail as well. The waterfalls are active from, let's say, mid-May to, let's say, sometimes end of June. And we encounter a wild bear and literally passed 15 meters away from us.
Yeah, but we are lucky that we are speaking now about that,
Yes.
and we can love about that. But how should people react if you meet a bear?
Well, if you're doing a self-guided tour, make sure you have a pepper spray or you have a firecrackers with you. Don't panic, don't try to run, and because you cannot overrun the bear in its natural habitat. So try to be calm.
You want to add something?
No, I mean that's it. That's what you want. There is untouched nature, so you will see animals there, and that's also the beauty to it. You might see some snakes, small snakes in the lake. Depends on where you go. If you go to the remote areas, if you don't want that, you stay near the cities, and you will be fine as well. So you can have both. You can stay near the cities, but if you want to have untouched nature, that's what you get. Yeah.
Pure nature. Here in North
Yes,
Macedonia.
be careful when you go into the rocky terrains in the mountains. There is a very dangerous snake, the most venomous in Europe. It's the viper. Watch where you're stepping. You know?
Well, happy that I hear that after I did all my tours. No,
Also didn't know that.
no, guys, don't be afraid about that. Like we have been hiking a few
Yes,
tours.
yes.
Everything was very safe. It was amazing. I'm actually happy with all the answers. Do you have something to add?
Well, I would add the wine tourism and all the wineries that are part of the cuisine.
Wine tours.
Yes, a lot of wine tours, and also the big wineries are here. Tikvesh winery, and even in Skopje region there is a very nice winery. It's Kamnik.
Well, Matthias, the stage is yours.
Last words? Yes, maybe just, I think, having been in this country now for a year, I think there is a very bright future. I'm an optimist, that's true, but I believe in it because I see people like Alexander with these initiatives. I know a lot of environmentalists who work on nature conservation. I know many people having good ideas, and with the potential that is in this country. We spoke a lot about tourism. I am absolutely sure that this will be a big success, and I can tell everyone from the listeners, come as soon as possible, because all the spots we now said are secret. I don't think in 15-20 years those still will be secret.
Maybe even less, I would say.
Probably.
5 to 10
Yes.
years.
Yes.
Happy to hear that you see such a bright future for North Macedonia. Guys, thanks for your time. Thanks for all the insights. Listeners, thanks for watching and listening. Thanks for your support. Thanks for being part of this podcast already over 3 years. And in the end, Alexander, may you say a goodbye in your language.
Благодарам на сите гледачи на подкастот Global Communicator и благодарам за поканата, Марко. Ciao. Se gledamo.
Ajde, ciao.
Thanks for listening, and if you like the podcast, please share it and like it. I'm happy for any comment, and follow us on Instagram or on any listening app. I'm happy to hear from you and hopefully see you soon in the next episode. Bye bye!